Hello, my name is Alanda Posey, and I am the owner of the Soulful Beginnings Academy. And I want to share a special series with you that's near and dear to my heart. Many of you may know, but I was a former kindergarten teacher, and I created my own alphabet titled the Soulful Alphabet. That's right, it caters to Black and brown children learning about their history, learning about their culture, famous icons, hairstyles, dances, all in the Soulful Alphabet. And I have written 9 of the 26 letters have a book, right? And so I want to introduce those books to you and share a few of my favorites. We'll start with A is for Afro. The Afro is such an iconic figure in our culture. In the Black culture, many people wore Afros in the 60s and the 70s. And you know what? It's still popular today. So if you wanted to, you could take a look at A is for Afro and teach your child about different styles that the Afro can have, right? So we have 2 puffs. We know our Afro can be curly. How about a mohawk? And dress it with some bows. But the biggest piece is that the Afro is Africa, right? And Africa is me. And so you have this space where you can teach your daughter, teach your son about the power of our hair and what it means to us as Black people. From there, we have one of my favorites is C is for comedian. Now, I don't know about you, but I love a good laugh. And so here are some of my favorite comedians that I grew up watching as a child. He's my favorite right now. DC Young Fly is top 10 in my book. But you can take a journey through some of the famous people that have made us laugh for decades. Sinbad, the infamous Bernie Mac, Ricky Smiley, some more, Kevin Hart, and Steve Harvey, Eddie Murphy. How about this guy? He's been popular right now. Cat Williams, Richard Pryor, Martin Lawrence, Cedric the Entertainer, all about the power of a joke, right? And so we as Black people, we as African Americans thrive off of laughter. We thrive off of the humor. The history of joke telling also goes into this thought around we communicating with each other through comedy, right? So telling about different social issues, teaching about different social issues through the power of comedy is what this is all about. Go ahead and grab a copy of C is for Comedian so that you can tell the history of laughter to your child. Beyond that, we have M is for Moonwalk, the icon, Michael Jackson, and it teaches you the steps to do a moonwalk. Can you do a moonwalk? I surely can't, but I learned this as I wrote this story, how it actually starts off and what he had to do to learn how to do this move that transcended dance. So everybody wanted to do the moonwalk as a dancer. He moves back and forth. It looks like your butt. At the same time, it looks like you're moving forward. So really, we're thinking that he is going backwards and it looks like he's moving forward on a tippy-toe position. And then you repeat that over and over and over again. Thinking through this piece and knowing that you're gliding through the air, that's what it looks like when you do the moonwalk. And who can forget the icon that is Michael Jackson and the moonwalk? So take a journey with M is for Moonwalk for your daughter or your son. Now I'll transition to one of my favorites, H is for hip hop. And we know what hip hop is to our culture, but have you taken a moment outside of what the lyrics are, how it impacts our world, to teach rhyme, to teach rhythm, to teach repetition to your child through these iconic figures of H is for hip hop? So here's what I know more so than anything is that rap is something you do and hip hop is something that you love. Hip hop is supposed to uplift and create, to educate people on the larger level and to make change. So that's what is not told about our history with H is for hip hop. We're not told that it's about change. It's about creating a space where you can be lyrically gifted and do something that will impact others in a way that has not been done before. What we hold near and dear to our heart as African Americans is family. And so K is for kinship could teach your youngest child the different family members that they may have. So it just starts off with she is our mother, he is our father, and it goes page by page telling you about the different people in your family. Your auntie, your uncle, your cousins, if you are a niece or a nephew. We love our grandparents. And then thinking about this whole family all together, right? They are the rock of our family, our grandparents, our ancestors. But we can never forget the first family. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, the first family to ever enter the White House as African and hold the most prestigious office in our nation of president. Definitely check out K is for kinship. On the other side of things, we have F is for fade. And so this book I actually wrote with my husband because he's a barber. And so he taught me all the different types of fades. Like, I don't know, when your man goes to the barbershop, when you take your son to the barbershop, it's an experience, okay? So I learned about the different types of fades, and I wanted to share that with you. It's dedicated to him as a barber, and it emphasizes different celebrities and the haircuts that they have. So if you don't know, people go in the barbershop and they ask for a Boosie fade, okay? There is a hairstyle from Usher, right? And there's different types of fades in here. This comb over thing that Young Jock was wearing for a while, it is a thing, ladies and gentlemen. But you can learn about all of these different types of hairstyles and know the names. So if nothing else, grab the book and head to the barbershop and get that fade. And we have D is for Dashiki. This one took me back to the motherland and talked to me about the different countries where the Dashiki originated, okay? So it's from these different countries. You have Ghana, Nigeria, and Togo. And so it talks about how the Dashiki is impactful to our culture, how it is designed, how it's used in different ceremonies, and what that means. And so just imagine living in this space of royalty as African Americans. We're often told that we're less than, but we're really more than that, and we are filled with royalty. And last but not least, we have U is for urban. So this book right here is one of the end of the alphabet books. U is for urban. The reason why I wrote this book is because the word urban gets a negative connotation, right? And so people perceive it as a person being a thug, just this bad person, right? But urban is something that is absolutely beautiful. It is a beautiful thing to live in an urban culture and an urban community and connect in that way. So I want to share a few pages with you about U is for urban so I can change your trajectory about this particular word. So if you didn't know, urban started in the city. And it's an apparel that can be worn by children. Can you see how the urban culture promotes creativity? We can foster many fashions and styles. Urban can be a hat that is used to coordinate with any outfit. Urban can be lines that touch the soul over a rough beat. Urban can be preppy like a businessman or a college student. urban can also be styled in a professional manner. So here's a book that provides a context for your little learner to understand the difference between what urban really could be versus what society wants you to believe.